Don't miss Clownfish Studios' latest crowdfunder, Crimson Wren Volume 1 on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Thaddeus Wendell's greatest treasure is out there, and it's up to young mage Crimson Wren and the crew of a rundown airship called the True North to find it. But will they find it in time? Crimson Wren of the True North is a race against the clock filled with action, adventure, comedy, and heart. This is a brand new manga-style graphic novel from Clownfish Studios. Go to crimsonwren.com or check it out on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. It ends on November 18th. That's November 18th. And now on with the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Brendan Fraser because we haven't talked about, because nobody's really talked about Brendan Fraser a lot lately.
No, I don't talk about him at all. But I do want to point out that before, he did this movie and had this resurgence, everybody started talking about him again. We had mentioned numerous times on our videos about the abuse he had suffered and what had happened to him. And we thought it was shit. We'd like to see him come back. And that was before it was popular to say, yay, Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this. He's having a lot of success with his new movie, and he's making a comeback, and now he's saying he wants to do another Mummy movie, and there's been some speculation that, this could lead to Universal rebooting the Dark Universe. Which was a really poor attempt at trying to reboot the Universal monsters. They did this Mummy movie with Tom Cruise I forgot all about.
I never watched the whole thing. I never made it the whole way through.
Yeah, well, Brendan Fraser didn't think much of it. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, over 278,000 subs.
Woo!
Thank you so much for the support. Now, this is a couple of weeks ago. Now, what actually prompted this video, we got to give credit where credit is due, is your good buddy Ronaldo over
I finally agreed with Ronaldo about something.
Ronaldo over at CBR. Usually Ronaldo was spending most of their time defending Netflix She-Ra from haters like us, but that's okay, because actually we agree. We
agree with Ronaldo. It is a day that you should remember. Mark your calendars.
A day long remembered.
That's right.
But yeah, I do agree that if Universal were smart, he's down for it, I guess. He's down for doing another Mummy movie. But they could reboot it and have him be kind of the elder boss character of a new group of monster hunters. I'd love to see like kind of a Van Helsing type thing going on with Dracula. And,
he said that he'd be like the Nick Fury. They said like the Nick Fury of this franchise. And I'm like, that would be kind of cool, actually.
So, again, this was, a couple of weeks ago, but everybody's talking about Brendan Fraser now. It said that he wants to do another Mummy movie.
We never stopped. I always loved Brendan Fraser.
He says Tom Cruise reboot wasn't fun. I've never even seen it. It looked like
I couldn't sit through it. I watched The Mummy a bazillion times, but I could not sit through that one.
It didn't even look like a Mummy movie. It was just, awful. The Mummy should be a thrill ride, but not terrifying and scary, Fraser said. I know how difficult it is to pull off. I tried to do it 3 times. I keep forgetting there was a third one.
There was. It was...
Yeah. So Fraser became a star when The Mummy hit theaters in 1999 and spawned a beloved trilogy, which was rebooted without him in 2017 to disastrous results. Who could have foreseen that coming? Fortunately for fans, Fraser is open to reprising his role, and he has an idea of why the Tom Cruise-helmed reboot flopped. It's hard to make that movie, he told Variety. The ingredient was that we had going for us was that our Mummy, which we didn't see in the Tom Cruise film, was fun. That's what was lacking in that incarnation. It was too much of a straight-ahead horror movie.
Yeah.
It didn't even look like a Mummy movie. I saw the trailer for it. I'm like, what is this?
I thought it was like somebody else trying to do The Mummy. I didn't know it was supposed to be like the same people.
Yeah, and like Universal, they're trying really hard to do something with the monsters because they have Epic Universe coming, and supposedly they're going to have a Universal Monsters area in Epic Universe. And
so now's the perfect time.
Now's the perfect time to try to get this stuff, going. And of course, most people would like to see the classic incarnations. Now, I was disappointed. We went to Universal a couple weeks ago, went to Halloween Horror Nights, and one of the houses I was looking forward to the most was the Universal Monster House because I kept thinking this is going to be really cool. And it was just basically the mummies, like you were in the catacombs in the pyramid with mummies with like 2 werewolves, and that was it.
Yeah,
that's not. No, I wanted like Dracula and Frankenstein doing karate
I would say the Werewolf by Night was more like a Universal Monsters movie than...
Werewolf by Night was good. I was shocked. It was like the best Marvel anything they've done in a long time.
Lately,
I'm like,
yeah.
damn, that was actually pretty good.
It's funny here because now they're mentioning what we talked about. Fraser vanished from Hollywood after leading popular films like George of the Jungle and Bedazzled. In 2018, he had said he had been blackballed for alleging Philip Burke, a former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, groped him in 2003, which of course Burke denied the allegations and all that. But he said it was a joke. But we've mentioned that many times. We're talking about, this whole idea about sexual assault. Men can be victims of sexual assault too.
Yeah.
And then we talked about how Brandon Fraser had been blackballed. I would use blacklisted. I don't know if I would use blackballed when you're...
Well, I think Philip Burke wanted to ball him.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Yeah. I think Philip Burke had blue balls, and and so, I mean, to be fair, he's Brandon Fraser. I would have, you would have too. Everybody would have. So
sure.
Yeah, and we talked about that because he was a victim of sexual assault, and he got blacklisted for it, and we've talked about that many times before it was trendy to do so, because we had always thought it was shit and it wasn't right.
Yeah, we're like, what? Because you like The Mummy quite a bit, and you'd watch it and you'd be like, whatever happened to Brendan Fraser? Then we saw him in Doom Patrol. Well, heard him mostly. Well, no, we saw him with balls in Doom Patrol beginning, but Doom Patrol's actually really good. And it was like, wow, hey, Brendan Fraser's coming back. And it was actually pretty cool. And then we're like, what happened to him? I was like, oh, somebody tried to grab his ass 20 years ago.
Well, here he tells you. He said, and his left hand reaches around, grabs my ass cheek, and one of his fingers touches me in the teeth.
Wow.
I felt ill. I felt like a little kid. I felt like there was a ball in my throat. I thought I was going to cry. And you know what? I have been saying repeatedly on this channel that sexual assault's bad, but women are not the only victims of sexual assault, and men are just as infected by it as women. But they don't get to have. Women don't have a bunch of voice. Men have even a smaller voice when it comes to this, because no one believes them.
So whatever happened to George Takei and that whole incident?
I don't know.
Yeah, because a lot of the allegations against men, they go down the memory hole. Bryan Singer is still directing movies. I'm just saying, if we're gonna be fair and we're gonna Me Too everybody who levels an allegation, if you've got men making allegations, I mean, how long did the Coreys go ignored in Hollywood? Just
one of them killed themselves.
I'm just saying. So now Fraser's in the midst of a full-blown comeback and earning acclaim for his role in The Whale.
And then he's saying he would, and they did ask him if he would be up for doing The Mummy again, and he said it's possible. He's not sure how it would work, but he'd be open to it.
Yeah, I think that actually right now, if Universal were smart and that he's actually having a bit of a comeback, I think it actually would be a good time for them to be like, yeah, let's revisit. I mean, look, if they can do it with Indiana Jones when nobody asked for it, we could do another fun mummy movie,
and people are actually wanting that.
And you've got, Brendan Fraser right now making a comeback. You've got The Rock. You can bring The Rock back in as the Scorpion King. I mean, it would make money. Now, the funny thing is he never worked with The Rock because he was all fakey CG.
Yeah.
In that one, which I never understood. Like they were trying to build like a Mummy cinematic universe because they had the Scorpion King movie, and then and weirdly the Scorpion King. Okay, so Scorpion King is now relevant because in Nope, they wear Scorpion King jackets because the main character's dad worked on the film.
For real?
Yes.
That's funny, actually.
So, it's all coming together for you, Universal. It's actually...
Maybe that's the plan.
That is the plan. Maybe these are all like little seeds of, trying to see if people are interested. And I think people would be very interested. I mean, God, I'd love to see a cool, fun take on Dracula, Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and tie all that together. I think it could actually work. But yeah, the Dark Universe, they tried that shit, and it was just like everybody was going to do a cinematic universe. This is the same time that they were doing the Toho monster universe.
But like you said, now's the time because all the stars are aligning with the theme park stuff and everything else. You really, now would be the good time to do that. And Brendan Fraser is really popular, and it would make sense, and you would get butts in the seats just because it's Brendan Fraser. I think it's a fantastic idea. I would go watch it. I'll go watch it twice.
There you go. That doesn't happen very often here. Two things that don't happen very often. One, we say we like something so much, or we would like to see something so much, we would preemptively agree to see it twice. And two, that we agree with Ronaldo from CBR. Because that never. Well, I think we did one other time.
It's rare.
It's rare, but I agree. I think it's high time for Brendan Fraser to make a comeback. And if you're gonna really bring the Universal monsters back, do it in a fun way. Because the Dark Universe shit just didn't work. Didn't work. We gotta wrap this up.
Yep.
All right. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.